you're better at this than you were at school.
Oh, damn straight.
Yo, what up, everybody? Welcome back to the Heart of the 50 States for another episode, man. I keep getting greater and greater with these episodes, man. Today, I'm here with ROB.
ROB, Reflection of Brilliance, not bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
Kansas City artist. Artist. When I say artist, I mean artist.
Absolutely.
So
I appreciate you highlighting that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got to put that on. You got to catapult that up there.
Oh, yeah. For those that don't know who ROB is, give them a brief summary of who Rob is.
Well, there's a difference between who, Robert Taylor is, who my mama gave birth to, versus, ROB. I think ROB, Reflection of Brilliance, is a personification of who I really am. It's like a hyped up extension. You know what I'm saying? Because I use it to that moniker is used to entertain people. So it's just a hyped up extension of myself. You feel me?
Yeah.
So, I can't compare the two because ROB is Robert Taylor on super spiritual steroids. You feel me?
Yeah.
Yeah. So ROB consists of being a poet, a rapper, an activist, a storyteller, somebody with street experience, somebody with street insight and wisdom, and someone with a natural inclination to push to the top. Now, all of those things are intermingled with who I am at the center core. You see what I'm saying? But there's things that ROB doesn't deal with that Rob does. You feel me?
Right.
You feel me? Right.
All right. To be, I don't know if people know or know your background. You were one of the first, independent labels. I don't even know if people knew that you had your own label back in the day, Savage Records.
Yeah.
How did Savage Records come about?
Hey, that's an interesting. Hold on. The fact that you even pointed out that people don't know it, that's great because I don't toot my horn. A lot of people tell me because they be like, toot your horn more, bro.
Yeah.
You so humble. You know what I'm saying? But I don't like talking about the past all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So how I look at it, cuz it's like this, man. Me and the guy that started Savage Records, that's my homeboy Chud, and you know Chud.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know Chud. He had came to me, man, and basically was like, hey, cuz, I'm making a lot of money. And I want to start a record label, and I want you to be the president of the record label. Now, I've been knowing Chud since we was kids, and I'm kind of like overwhelmed with this motherfucking proposition that he's making because he's like, cuz, I'm going to put this into it. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. So I reluctantly took him up on this offer. And at that time, bro, I was going to Longview Community College in the morning from 8 to 12, and I was working at Gateway Computers from 1 to 10. You know what I'm saying? So my day was full. This was a Monday through Friday thing. I was fresh out of high school. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we was young. I remember we was
bro.
young.
We was hella
bro.
young. I had just graduated from Grandview High School. I'm trying to figure out what the fuck I'm going to do with my life. You know what I'm saying? Because I was so locked into wanting to be a rapper. You feel me? So here come Chud. Chud got all this cake. Next thing I know, we going to West End. You know what I'm saying? We going to West End to recording songs, and we didn't really have a solid plan, but we had the capital to fuel the dream. So we was figuring it out. We were figuring everything out as we move forward. So in the process of that, we was like, cuz, what we gonna name the label? And we ended up naming it Savage Records. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because we grew up calling each other savages. Nigga, I'm a savage about my cabbage. You know what I'm saying? All that type shit. So we named it Savage Records, and we ended up putting out my first album called Introduction of a Street Poet. It was a 5-song EP. We recorded it at West End Recording Studios over there on State Line.
Yeah, shout out West End.
Yeah, shout out to West. Is they still there?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, yeah, man. I remember, man, messing with white boy Rich over there, man. He was a cool dude. He was my engineer. You know what I'm saying? And the dude that owned it, Mike. Yeah, I remember them. But that's where a lot of old school rappers from yesteryear that's the studio that they got
Yeah.
that was the foundation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you was linked in West End Recording Studio, you was there. You know what I'm saying? From Tech Nine to Rich the Factor, Dilemma and D-Lo, Sunday, the Popper, everybody went through that door in that
I
particular
remember.
era. You know what I'm saying?
I can't even remember back then. I can't even remember another studio being talked about.
Nah,
than
that was the
West
premier
End.
studio.
I
If you
couldn't
wanted
even
the
think.
professional sound, you know what I'm saying? But I could take you back, though. I could take you back to 1996. I was going to Purcell High School. It was a record label called, I want to say it was called Pearl Records. It was on 45th and Walnut. You know what I'm saying? It was on 45th and Walnut behind Quick Trip on Main. That Quick Trip on Main.
Okay, I know what you're talking about.
Okay, and it's a little strip mall right there. You know what I'm saying? It was a real record label there.
No shit.
It was a real record label there. I actually know the young lady, you know what I'm saying, who's that's one of her family members. And it was they're a musical family. I don't want to say their name on you.
Yeah, no.
They're a real heavily inclined musical family, and they deep into the church or whatever. But I actually had an opportunity to get a record deal with them when I was in high school. You know what I'm saying? But my step pops, he kind of wasn't really sure about kind of pushing me towards that, so I ended up not doing it. So outside of them, because they had a studio and everything, outside of them, you right, West End was the only place, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So you get the Savage Records started. Y'all start gaining traction.
Yeah.
How was that? Like being over it, running it, and being the artist.
Man, first of all, I want to shout out my guy Chud, because you know what I'm saying, we came into this as friends and we still friends to this day.
Yeah, shout out Chud.
Shout out to Chud. You know Chud. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So, and we still exchange ideas on how to, you know, ascend to the next level of the game through the arts, whether it's through music, you know what I'm saying, movies, whatever. We still, you know, talk about things and how much capital it's going to take to do this and do that or whatever. But anyway, man, that was a hell of a time, because Chud gave me a lot of say so.
Yeah, that's what I meant. You had a lot of responsibility.
It wasn't just rap, like
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying. Niggas would make jokes and call me the rapper. Hey, that's the rapper. You know what I'm saying? But it was more of an honorable thing, like, you ain't getting in the way of this. We fucking with the rapper. You know what I'm saying? But behind the scenes, me and Chud was sitting down together, leaning on each other on marketing strategies. You know what I'm saying? You know, Chud was so heavy in the streets, he couldn't be outside like I was. So I was the one, you would see it. I was the one with everybody else outside implementing what you would see in the community. Posters everywhere. That was
the cars,
the
van,
everything.
Let
you
them
know what I'm
know.
saying?
Let them know all that.
So what Chud? Okay, our first show was at this club called Tremors in Lawrence, Kansas. You know what I'm saying? And there was a DJ out there called 151, Spanish dude. Man, this was a hell of a dude, man, because he believed in me. And I just met him on the fly. Just going out to the club, I met him, told him who I was or whatever. So he had me come out to a show. It was me and Looney Coleon. And
shout out Looney.
Yeah, shout out Looney. And at that point, you know what I'm saying, in my rap existence, I wasn't a professional. I was just a nigga that did open mics.
Yeah.
So I didn't know nothing about putting on a costume and looking like a rapper. I'm going off a mere skill. I'm about to get up here and I'm about to sway the crowd. I'm about to move the crowd. I can make the crowd cry. I can make the crowd laugh. I'm going to do my thing because I am a talented individual. You know what I'm saying? So we on the stage. Chud shows up. Chud got big chunky ice on. We show up we rented the limo bus. You know what I'm saying? That night I had a couple strip chicks on there with me, stripper honeys. You know what I'm saying? We had all the crew on there. Of course the crew is chunked out.
Yeah.
But we talking about the people on stage. Chud like to be on stage with me. So he's up there, he's chunky. So he was rapping, and I remember I had a white t-shirt on. It was inside out. I had on some Fat Farm jeans and some Rockport boots. And Chud looked at me, and I think my outfit hit him. He's like, Man, we flew, I promise, man. That nigga flew the whole crew. We all went down to Houston, Texas, and we bought so many clothes at one store. It was just, we had only went to one store. They had to shut the they had to pull the thing down because
So
we was in there going crazy and just grabbing so much stuff. Because Chud like, man, just get whatever y'all want. Because Chud understood the power of presentation.
What it took.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to think, my first release party, we had ice sculptures, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Scarface was there. All the Chiefs players, you know what I'm saying? Right there on Gillum at the old party house. You feel me? So he understood. He also understood that shit costs money.
Yeah.
To make y'all wow, to wow y'all, it costs cake to wow y'all.
A lot of cake.
You know what I'm saying? But the wowing creates an everlasting existence. You know, impression rather. My fault. An everlasting impression. Like, you were wowed so much, you're like, damn, I need to gravitate more. You would naturally gravitate towards what we had going on, and that's exactly what happened. It was so spectacular and bow in your face. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And, you know, thank goodness I was surrounded by men that money wasn't a motherfucking thing. You feel me?
It's a good feeling to have that push behind you.
Yeah, for sure. Some guys that really believe in what I had going on and gave me the leeway to creatively. It was never, I think the most thing we probably clashed on is the type of beats that I might have chose. You know what I'm saying? But even then, nobody really stepped on my toes. You know, niggas went as far as went and found me some producers out of Atlanta, Georgia, and flew me up here. And flew them up here to teach me how to record and give me some quality sound. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so you didn't mess with any producers from around here at that time? Like Don One. Who was all producing?
I mean, let's see. If we go back to that era, you know what I'm saying? You gotta think. The twins, which were Keith and Kevin, both of them have since passed away. They were responsible for creating Rich's early sound. So in order to trace my rap history, you got to go back to the early 90s, and I've seen it fluctuate since then. So to ask me who was the producers, they change. Just like the rappers change, who's hot. You know what I'm saying? Who's been just consistently present is up for debate. You know what I'm saying? I know that I've worked with quite a few producers in the city. I did some stuff with Dark Circle, with Icy Rock. I've done stuff with Don Juan. I've done stuff with Keith and Kevin when I was dealing with Major Factor Records back in the early 90s. I did stuff with Technico, you know what I'm saying, Ruben and what's his name, Elmo, when they was producing for Tech Nine back in that era. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'ma tell mama and I'ma tell papa, whatever. This is the town where the clowns put it down. That song, you know what I'm saying? So I've worked with a lot of producers, but it took me a long time to find my sound. Like, what sounds good with my voice.
What you was comfortable with.
What I was comfortable with. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you got to think, cuz I grew up on hardcore West Coast music. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Brother
our
Lynch
era,
hung. Brother Lynch hung.
Everything AWOL.
AWOL, nigga. You know what I'm saying? SIBO. Motherfucking X-rated. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of X-rated, like, I follow him on Instagram. Shout out to X-rated.
Yeah.
Man, that's a hell of a dude, right?
Yeah.
That's a hell of a dude, man. And I say that because his music cultivated a dangerous mindset, or helped. It contributed to cultivating a dangerous mindset in myself and the niggas I was growing up around, right?
Yeah.
Back when he made that album, when he recorded it from prison, I had never heard a nigga do that. You know what I'm saying? Now, you go to the X-Rated 2025, he's a more polished individual. He spent a lot of time in prison, and you can tell that he did a lot of shadow work on himself, man. You know what I'm saying? And I've seen some of the things that he's done outside of music that transcend into the streets that I think is real honorable. And shout out to X-Rated, man, because he plays a part component in the development of me as ROB, Reflection of Brilliance.
Cause we was heavy on that shit, bro. And like I said,
shit. We was on that Crip shit.
Shout out to X-Rated. I was seeing him last weekend backstage at Tech's concert.
I missed that.
And locked in a interview with him.
I think
so hopefully it'll be coming up.
That concert too, that Tech Nine concert.
Yeah, it was lit. It was lit.
Yeah.
I had never really seen him do his whole performance, bro. And bro, hey, I don't know too many people that can fuck with a Tech Nine show, bro. I'm
Man,
gonna be
listen.
honest with you.
Listen, I was locked up in Fort Dix Correctional Center, right? And I remember this dude. He was from New York City. I forget his name. Shout out to all my New York homies that I was in Fort
Shout out
Dix
New
with.
York, man.
You know what I'm saying? But he came to my cell and he's like, "Hey, boy, your dude is in the New York Times, right? Nigga, they had wrote an article on Tech Nine about how phenomenal he is.
Yeah.
And when I read it, it was magnificent to me because I know that the nigga is like one of a kind.
Yeah.
This dude is special. I always use the fact that the nigga can rap backwards, bro. He can say words backwards. Like when you can start doing shit like that and that man starts sounding like he talking in tongues and everything he say, and man intelligent as a motherfucker. See, people see one component of him, but the man super intelligent. He grew up Muslim. He got a lot of components to himself that make him a motherfucking dynamic individual.
Man, how humble he is to me, to be around him and see how humble he is it's crazy.
I worked with Tech Nine before, man. You know what I'm saying? I did a song with Tech that appeared on my second album. Now, Chud and them had a lot to do with that, but we'll get back to bring that back around.
Yeah.
But it's a song that appears on that album called Style. And it's me, Tech Nine, and my homeboy Dutch. Dutch is an extension of the Stomping Ground Entertainment that Southwest T, BMF. You know what I'm saying? So when I did that shit with Tech Nine in the early 2000s, right? I remember, being excited because we were both on the incline.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And, his crew was a lot different than what it is now. He had a lot of guys around him that knew my guys, and it was a lot of intermingling going on, you know what I'm saying? So when he came to the studio, bro, I used to always record prior to that and be like, damn, I don't sound how I'm supposed to sound. And I remember watching Tech Nine and him mastering breath composition and being able to put stuff together. At this time, I think I was like 22 or something, 23, 22, 21. And I was like, oh, that's how you do it. And around that time, we had flew some people up here from Atlanta to kind of show me a more industry way of how to record.
So y'all was on Atlanta early before.
Early. Well, we was going to Atlanta. We was going to the Shark Bar. If you know anybody that lived in Atlanta, we was hanging out at the Shark Bar, man. We was pulling up to the Shark Bar in limousines, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
There's some people didn't get a hold of Atlanta to
man,
2000, 99.
The old stories about Buckhead that you hear?
Yeah.
Man, hey, man, check this out. This is real talk. We was going to Buckhead, bro, in our early 20s.
Yeah.
Niggas had hundreds of thousands of dollars, and we going down there painting the whole town with my flyer, introduction of a street poet with me with that feathered ink pen. You know what I'm saying? And we didn't understand the level of what we were young.
No, that was big.
It was real
doing
big.
That back
you know
then,
what I'm saying?
bro.
Yeah. And that era was shaping me. It was shaping me. I didn't know. You don't know when you in the moment. But man, that era helped me understand a lot, bro. You know what I'm saying? And with Chud, it got to a point where we was like, you know what? We about to push hard. And the harder we pushed, the more money it costed, and niggas ended up getting indicted.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it was a good run, and I hope niggas learn their lesson.
Hey, man, you got to think about it. When we shot the video, all right, we shot the video on Prospect, right? And them police blocked that street off from 55th Street all the way to 63rd. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Escorted me through the mall, motorcycles over at Tower Park. They had the Swope Park thing. This all in Seventh Heaven. This all in one day. This major production.
It was crazy.
This major production.
Yeah,
this makeup artist. They got the lady putting the makeup on me. They got every food outside. It's everything.
I remember. I remember, bro. It was crazy.
And we had our eyes set on shit like getting on BET.
Yeah.
See, we back.
I remember Chud saying we going to the BET. Listen, bro. people don't understand. Like y'all was on that shit back then. Like we going to the BET Awards. You know what I'm saying? We going to show up.
Man, listen, man. One thing. Okay, so that's why no matter what, that's my guy, man, because he introduced me to some things that I wasn't privy to prior to that. I was on the street corner. You know what I'm saying? Doing high level riffraff shit. You know what I'm saying? And he like, nah, cuz.
Came and got you.
Nigga, let me show you this, cause Chud ain't no stranger. He wasn't no stranger to that shit.
Oh no.
He just wasn't on 43rd or down in Seven Oaks like that. You know what I'm saying? So, and he knew my character, so he's like, I'm gonna go get that nigga Rob. You know what I'm saying? And I remember I seen him at my partner Crusher house. I'm going in, he's coming out. He like, cuz, man, I'm gonna start a label. I thought the Expedition, remember the Expedition on the 20s?
Yeah, with all the beat in
all
that
the beat.
motherfucker. Yeah,
I thought it was somebody else's. I hadn't seen him. But I'm hearing rumors, and all I kept saying is, Chud must have robbed one of these motherfucking plugs. You know what I'm saying? And didn't tell me or something. You know what I mean?
He had the bag.
Yeah, so he really was doing this motherfucking thing. So, it showed me that, and I've mentioned this to quite a few people before, that your talent is important, but you have to have some capital behind it. Like Tupac said, put the money behind your dreams.
Yeah.
Now, somebody else can put their money behind your dreams, but based on my experience, you know what I'm saying? Your money give you motherfucking leverage to negotiate. The more money you got, the more negotiation power you got.
Thanks.
When you ain't got no money, motherfucker gonna tell you what to do. You know what I'm saying? They might make you feel like you getting your dream fulfilled, but they telling you what to do because you ain't got no money. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And Chud was one, and he'd tell me, cuz we ain't rapping unless it got something to do with some cocksucking cash. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Okay, let's move on. Let's get on some Kansas City topics.
Talk about it.
How do you feel about the music scene, our music scene?
It's kind of difficult.
Keep it 100.
It's kind of, no, we're going to definitely do that. It's difficult to define the Kansas City music scene collectively because it's not collectively visible. It's like over here you may hear something, over there you might hear something, over here. I still say to this day that the only successful visible rappers here is one, Tech Nine, and I'm doing this in order. Number 2, Rich the Factor, and number 3, the Popper. That's it. That's it. I don't know what K-Stylist did. I know that I don't care what city I go to, I hear his music.
Yeah.
What I'm saying, he's not visible in the music. You know what I'm saying? This is what it boiled down to. It's a lot of people that do music here, and there's a lot of people here that love music. Our city infrastructure doesn't support rap music, bro.
No.
There's nowhere to perform it. There's nowhere to display the infrastructure here doesn't support rap. And the people that help contribute to the building of the infrastructure, they don't want to support anything that caters to rap. You see what I'm saying? What happens is artists tend to lean on others. I got to focus on my art, so I'm hoping that you open up a club that I can perform in. And times have shifted where I got to open up a club that I got to perform in to promote my own music.
Yeah.
Because nobody's interested in that particular infrastructure. You see what I'm saying? So I pay attention to what's going on. And I see people doing certain things, making certain things that I like, doing things and making things that I don't like. You know what I'm saying? And I have an opinion about it because I'm a fucking human. Right. You know what I'm saying? I make an assertion and say, hey, that shit's fucking trash. Or, hey, man, that's kind of catchy. That's kind of good. You know what I'm saying? But we know that the musical landscape has changed. So the metric that we measure people by, it has gotten a little softer. I'm still a little more aggressive with how I look at it because I take music. I ain't gonna say I take it like you seriously, but the art form.
Right.
The art form, your passion.
Yeah.
Your passion.
That's because you come from an era where what you were saying was actually thought about.
Yeah.
And written
Shout out
down.
to Mr. Banks.
Yeah.
Shout out to Professor Banks from Purcell High School because he's the one that helped me understand, you know, what being a writer, a poet is about. You know what I'm saying?
Right now they just going in there and punching in.
Yeah, it's like Dr. Seuss.
Ain't nothing written, and it's just wasting time.
Some hat.
Yeah.
Rat. You know, just real simple. You know, my son can make that shit. Yo.
Yeah, it's really no thoughts really putting into the music. As long as you can make them dance on TikTok, that's good enough for them.
Well, I will say this. This is important to say, cuz music is supposed to entertain.
Right.
All right?
Right.
We're not supposed to listen to music and be bored.
Right, but you want longevity too, right?
Absolutely. So that means that, again, you know, this goes back into the component of are you talented? You know, because if you're talented, you're going to present the world with a balanced portfolio of material.
But how often do you see that these days, Rob?
You don't see it. You don't
Right,
see
okay.
it. You know what I'm saying? But me, I'll tell you this. I got a cacophony of beautiful shit. A cacophony.
I'm sure you got notebooks, bro. You still
really
write.
I got notebooks in the car.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
I know you one of the very few that's still right.
I've never written a song inside of a phone. You see, I said written in the phone. It's typed in the phone.
I know
My
that
fucking
about
brain
you,
fucked up.
bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still go to Barnes and Nobles. I don't write in Mead notebooks. I go to Barnes and Nobles and buy $40 suede notebooks with leather motherfucking inserts with papyrus paper, and my ink pen's got to fucking glide across the fucking page. They got to bleed. You feel me?
He ain't lying, y'all. I've seen these notebooks. But the youngsters that we have coming up to actually represent us in the rap game, how do you feel about them?
I feel like that they haven't been taught the elements of what it takes to be a good rapper. It doesn't require you to go to prison to be a good rapper.
Tell them again,
It doesn't
please.
require you to have a background in drug dealing to be a good rapper. It doesn't require you to have beat a murder rap or have did time for doing a murder or have been connected to murderers to be a rapper. I think the prerequisite to be a rapper has been motherfucking diluted and obscured into having people thinking that these are the elements that it takes to do this. And what it really takes is spirit.
Yeah.
Your greatest artist has some kind of connection to a spiritual house, church, you know what I'm saying? God itself. I mean, look at DMX, look at Beyonce, all these people, a lot of people was connected to the spirit. These younger generation of people, their parents did not teach them about God, bro.
Yeah.
You can't, we're dealing with the arts. The arts is mystic. The arts is mystic. Ancient times, people told stories through art, and it was subliminal. And your mind had to be expanded to even be able to decipher it.
Yeah.
So these kids are fucking painting with basic pictures with crayons, and my shit is pastel colors with beautiful brushes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I'm not, they're savable. They're savable. They're savable.
I'm a believer in that too. I believe that they're savable. As far as us not getting any shows or nowhere to perform, you don't think that has something to do with the way they act?
Absolutely. Let's be objective. I'm a club owner, okay? You come to me, hey, I got Joe Schmo, Jim Schmo, and Jay Schmo. They all want to do a show. They all got these kind of followings on Instagram, and your presentation is logical.
Yeah.
Okay? I go to my girlfriend or my wife or my homie who's my business partner. They own this club with me, which is all fucking, you know, just fictional or whatever. And they say, well, let's look up these guys. And all of these niggas promote murder. All of these niggas sound dangerous in their music. So why do I want that clientele at my beautiful venue that I got a bank loan for? The clientele is going to fucking more than likely destroy this, or there's going to be something that's dangerous is going to happen when all these people get there in this vibration, because music creates a vibration. It creates a frequency.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you get this dark frequency. See, this is why I share with somebody why my first show, you know what I'm saying? This is what I envision. Is I want to get the gentlemen that rap,
Right.
you know, of the city. The Irv the Phenoms.
Yeah,
You
shout
know
out
what I'm saying?
Irv.
The Irv the Phenoms. The Rob Ruckuses.
Yeah, Rob Reflection.
You know what I'm saying? People like that.
Shout out, bro.
And it's Key the Heaters.
Key the Heather.
People like
Yeah.
them, the gentlemen.
Yeah.
The gentlemen that see the world through a similar lens as me. And we put on tuxedos and suits and we rap.
But y'all are not rappers. To me, there's
We're
a
just
difference
calling it
between
that right now, Fat Marcus.
yeah,
Cuz,
okay,
you know
but
what I'm saying?
y'all don't rap, bro. Y'all lyricists.
Yeah,
Y'all
and
are hip
all of us
hop.
are different.
Yes.
All of us are different, right? So you take all four of us have had tenure. We've got tenure
Yeah,
in the game.
at
You know what I'm
least.
saying? So you put all of us on a bill and we market it in the sense of you wear your best. And you come sit down and eat dinner. We got this food that's being made, and you're gonna order like a different dishes, the main plate and all that, while these guys perform. And
That'll
it's
be
gonna
hard.
Intimate performance.
Yeah.
Intimate. Where, you know, I might be sitting up there with some gaiters on with my leg crossed, and I got a bad bitch sitting next to me, and she interviewing me. She said, well, ROB, Reflection of Brilliance, why did you write that song? What is the catalyst? What inspired you to write that? And then I express it to the crowd while the instrumental's playing in the background softly.
Yeah.
And as I get ready to rap, it raises up and we build this climax.
Yeah.
And it's a storytelling hour from ROB, and then somebody else has a totally different set. Meanwhile, you and your wife and, you know, him and his woman, they enjoying dinner.
Yeah.
And they're whispering because there's no loud talking. That's the type of shit that I be thinking, bro.
He on some elegant shit on y'all ass, nigga. That's some. I think that's what Jeezy and them are doing right now.
Man, hey, listen,
touring,
man, but
doing
Jeezy and
that.
them ain't a reflection of brilliance.
Oh
There's
no,
only one.
no, it'll just
See,
be a
listen,
vibe.
there's only one ROB that
Yeah.
exists in this
Yeah,
world,
yeah,
one
facts.
other than me.
Yeah.
And the person that owned that is NASA. It's called a robotic operating buddy. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It's like a little robot to help you. But the only other ROB is me.
Yeah, talk your shit.
You know what I'm
man.
saying?
Hey.
I'm a reflection of brilliance. The ink in my pen is mixed with the blood in my heart. And I'm really talented. You know what I'm saying?
facts.
I see the world through a unique lens.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's imperative for me to convey that view in the most simplistic and creative form through my music. See, I can't get too intricate because I'll go wood. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to go wood. So it's vital that poets like me exist. See, we're not in the old school Renaissance, the times of the Chicago Renaissance and the Harlem Renaissance,
Right.
when you had all these magnificent writers. Those writers are represented as rappers now. So it's part of a rap. See, being a rapper is responsible because you shift culture. See, I wouldn't know nothing about Egypt if it wasn't for Nas, not my fucking teacher at school.
Facts.
This nigga
Facts.
spoke so creatively about Egypt that I went and bought a book called Nile Valley Contributions to Civilization by a nigga named Kashif. Or no, the Browder Files or something like that. These were all books that Nas, let's talk about Wu-Tang. Wu-Tang is the ones that how I found out about the 5% Nation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So hip-hop isn't always bad. Why is that so important? Because learning about the 5% Nation gave me an objective viewpoint on not just religion, but myself as a black man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was people like AZ and Raekwon individually that introduced me to what Islam was. People like Mos Def. I'm not a Muslim, but I've learned more about Islam through hip hop than I've learned in reading the Quran. Not saying that you can. I'm saying that's how important hip hop is, bro. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Real talk. So those type of rappers are needed because it ain't all about, yeah, it's a balance party. You know what I'm saying? I'll shoot you. I'll shoot the fuck out of you, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Let's get this money. But we don't want to, you You know what I'm saying? Where that's all. You're the face of the bullshit.
Yeah. Let me backtrack for a minute. What do you think we can do to get the kids to stop thinking that they need to go to prison to have the street cred to become rappers?
Your education is the keys to unlock the chains of slavery. Education has to become cool. See, when we were growing up, I was born in 1980, dog. I'm not ashamed of my age. You know what I'm saying?
Same.
I wear that shit well. Age like fine wine. You feel me? I'll tell you something though. Coming up in that particular era, education was important. You go like at my grandmother's house, like my father, he collected Jet magazines, and it wasn't about the beauty of the week. The Jet magazine displayed black success.
Yes.
Essence magazine, Ebony, I'm talking about the old versions of these magazines. Black success was displayed in some type of way at my grandmother's house. Powerful. We watched, black TV shows was powerful. Niggerism wasn't tolerated.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Back then, Ebony would show you people other than football players.
Absolutely.
Rappers.
Absolutely.
Ordinary people that's out here getting money. Ordinary black people that's out here getting money in crazier ways than that. So
Well,
shout out to Ebony.
Here's the thing. Your education is so important in every different aspect. All right? Because it raises you in levels, as if you're graduating to another level. So when you educate yourself about something in the mind, it also affects you spiritually, and you have to rise. There's no, I don't want to go up there. Nah, you're going to take your ass up there.
Yeah.
You just learn something, and it's time to elevate.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And going backwards, the consequences are more dire.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So education has to become cool. The young people have to embrace education as being cool. What do I mean by education? Right? What do I mean by that? Man, first and foremost, I got a credit going to a Latin grammar school when I was a kid for being able to be good with words, because 90% of the world's words come from Latin, right? So when I was a kid and I tell somebody that was an adult that I'm learning Latin, they would always shun me. Yeah. Because they didn't understand. They's like, Spanish Latin? I'm like, nah, Latin, Romans and Greeks and stuff. And they didn't understand that
most of the words they saying were based.
Yes, and they didn't understand that, so they shooed me. So it has to be a culture of inclusion when it comes to information. No, we need that. We need to learn. So that's how I learned about studying the etymology of a word, where a word comes from. How that,
how to break a word down.
Exactly. I love that. Yeah. Yes, the etymology, how to break a word down. Things like that, because words are magic. Yeah. Words are magic spells, and depending on where you put them at in the sentence, there's going to be contingent upon the effect of the magic spell. So you got to know what the words are.
Don't teach them too much,
I'm
man.
not. They ain't got enough degrees. They ain't got enough degrees.
You did some time in prison.
Yeah.
I know.
I don't mind talking about it. It's just kind of like, damn, I did, man. That's fucked up.
Do you mind talking about what landed you there?
Man, I immersed myself into the drug business, man, and with the idea of thinking I was better than thinking that I could outdo my predecessors, those who came before me, and using it as a means to finance my music career.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That shit. I was a slave to an illusion.
Yeah, we all were at one point in our life. How long did you do?
I did about 5 years.
About 5 years? And then you come home. How was it when you came home?
When you say how was it, what do you mean?
Like, was it welcoming? You didn't come home with no jacket?
Marcus, I need you to be direct.
Okay. When you came home.
No, let's take them back.
Okay.
Let's talk about, I'm not going to direct the interview because I know where you're going with this. And we're going to be straight up with each other because I'm candid and I'm honest.
All right.
And you know me. So if you want to talk about something, I know how to be evasive or inclusive. Let's get it going, my nigga. Let's get it going.
Okay, when you came home, you came home to like a light snitch jacket, or
A light snitch jacket, man.
Snitch jacket. It's light
I'm
to
gonna
me.
tell you what they told me in prison when I took that program. Nigga, stop coddling me. Don't coddle me, nigga. Stop coddling me, man. Come on, Marcus, talk to me, baby.
How did that make you feel? What even brung that on?
That's a great question. I like that. What even brung that on? What brung it on is that, Marcus, you know, I got myself involved in some high-level drug trafficking, a high-level drug trafficking situation. And the story in itself is extremely intricate. I spoke on it for the first time on a podcast called Indelibly Rudy. You know what I'm saying? Indelibly Marked. My
Shout
fault.
out to them,
Indelibly
bro.
Marked. My fault.
It's one of my favorite podcasts.
No, that's my guy, man. Damo's my guy.
Yeah.
And even in that particular interview, that interview wasn't really about what happened with my case.
Yeah.
It was about the trauma that I
it
dealt
caused.
with from behind, you know, it was about overall trauma, but that component of it. You know what I'm saying? So I'll say this. Without going deep into that whole, because I would have to actually break that shit down, and we don't have enough time.
Yeah, we do.
We do?
Yeah, we do. It ain't nothing but start and stop, nigga. Start and stop. Just try to make it as quick, you know, as light as you can, but we got time, bro. This is YouTube.
All right, so check it out, cuz. When I was doing this music, you know what I'm saying, with Chud, we had a partner, a white boy that was around us, and you met him. You know what I'm saying? You met him. And, you know, he was a good dude, man. We became friends. And after a while, you know, we became roommates, and our relationship grew, and, you know, and he got to a point where he had to move to Mexico. He caught a case, and he had to move to Mexico. That was in maybe 2004, you know, somewhere around there. Him and I kept in touch as friends. You know, he wasn't my plug or nothing like that. But this particular guy was deep in the business. You know what I'm saying? You know that. And he was part of the reason, outside of Chud, he was heavily involved in the momentum that I had going on. You know what I'm saying? So it was kind of like having two homies, one black, one white. And when this homie over here acting a donkey, I can go to my white boy and be like, look, man, he's fucking acting like a fucking prick, man. Let's get this, you know what I'm saying? And it would be reversed, too, because one time Chud was like, hey, man, we're going to get that nigga R.O.B. a Viper. And we're going to wrap that motherfucker with his notebook paper. So they was going to, you know, wrap it, but with my notebook paper that I, you know what I'm saying? So my white boy was like, are you guys fucking crazy? The feds are going to get us. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, he the fucking rapper, man. That nigga need to be out here or something. And I'm sitting back like, yeah, I need to be out here or something fast. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't having it. He wasn't having it. You know what I'm saying? So it ended up being a box Chevy on some 22-inch backs. Big car from a Viper. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so we had a dope-ass relationship. And I would go see him in Mexico. That's where he was living. You know what I'm saying? Hang out with him, chop it up about old times, tell him what's going on in the city. You know what I'm saying? I was his conduit to what was, you know, life. You know, as he was living it vicariously through me, his Kansas City experience. Yeah. And over the years, I had asked him, like, man, I'm kind of fucked up here. Why don't you send me something? He would always say, nah, dude, I don't want you to ever be like Chud, be like this person. And everybody that had fucked with him had been to jail except me. Yeah. So he was like holding on to me like you the only nigga that I got that ain't never been in trouble. And it was honorable to me. Like, yeah, I really am. You know what I'm saying? And he really believed in me. Yeah. He didn't like stupid rappers. You know, I ain't saying he was a big fan of like lyrical backpacky type shit, that backpacky.
But he fuck
Miracle.
Yeah,
it was
but he fuck with Rob.
But damn right. I got a good balance of backpack and street. You feel me?
Yeah.
So anyway, I would always be like, man. So our relationship transitioned into more. I had already knew that shit was going on, what he was involved in, even when he lived in the States. Mm-hmm. So already familiar with, like I always say, my rap career was supported by the underworld. I already knew that. I already knew that the streets supported the momentum that I had going on, right?
Right.
But we all kept quiet about it. I didn't rap about the shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't rap about that shit. So it went from, you know what I'm saying, I should transition. And I started like, come on, man. I'm tired of, there's an important element. When Chud got indicted and he went on the run, I ended up with the music. Mm-hmm. So I was in a fucked up battle with Chapman Records. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if you remember, there was a man that owned it named Chuck Chapman.
Yeah, I remember.
Right? So I went to Chuck one day and I said, hey, Chuck, I need that music. This guy lives in Mexico. This guy is in prison. And he doesn't even give a fuck because his mind, he's dealing with a lot of other shit. Chuck was like, you didn't pay for it. I'm sorry. You didn't pay. I mean, it was arrogant. Like, I'm fucking sorry, dude. You didn't pay for it, Rob. Okay? Now, we can work on your project. I mean, it was real Dickmeister-ish.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And it's your music.
It's really my music.
Yeah.
And these are D-boys who know that I'm passionate about this shit. And they really don't give a fuck because you got the white boy in Mexico like, I don't want to call up there. Shoot your shot. If you get it, you get it. Whatever you got to give him, I support you. So I got his blessing. He just want to be a part of my success.
Yeah.
Because we friends. Chud is in prison. I ain't really talked to Chud because, like I said, he's dealing with other elements, family shit, all that shit, whatever. So I'm like, I got to get this fucking music. Man, one day Chuck called me. Chuck Chapman called me. He said, come down to my office. I go down there. He's sitting in there. It's dimly lit. It's quiet in the studio. He said, shut the door. I shut the door. It was my first time noticing that he was, like a light man, a man of light. I don't know if you know what that is, but whatever. Yeah. So I see that. And I'm like, damn, I didn't know Chuck was this type of man. So he's like, look, Rob, I like you. I really like you, man. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give you this music, okay? But we don't want any more to do with this album at all. Yeah, you're going to have to find somewhere else to record it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, damn, Chuck, because I had recorded all that Tech Nine shit, everything, I had recorded it at that studio.
Right.
So he's like, yeah, you're going to have to take this somewhere else. I'm like, why? He's like, it's got blood all over it.
What?
Yeah, that blood money. That underworld capital. And then, I was sad. He's like, why you're sad? I'm giving you your music. And I'm like, yeah, let me get the music. So as I'm walking out, the man told me something profound and stuck with me for the rest of my life. He's like, hey, Rob, always remember something. It's the golden rule. And I'm like, what's the golden rule, Chuck? He said, the person with the gold rules.
This nigga is crazy. He is wild, bro.
So I ended up with the masters, but no recording home.
Yeah.
So that's how I ended up at Cypher Sounds with Aaron Connor because I was his new client. So now he's looking at it like, well, you motherfuckers done ripped off my new client from me. I don't have consistent bread because around that time, me and Travis and Techno was probably spending the most capital
in the city.
In that particular studio.
Oh, okay.
You had Diamond Shields, but Diamond Shields was anti all that shit.
Yeah.
He wanted to do that shit on his own, at home. Yeah. Fuck that. Diamond ain't spending the goddamn Diamond gonna make his own album covers, everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I ended up with the masters. I hooked up with a nigga from my neighborhood. I ain't gonna dog the nigga out. But I'm gonna tell you the truth about what happened, and it may be very uncomfortable to him and his close affiliates.
Yeah,
but it's the truth.
It's the truth.
Okay, so he come through, and he see me at Blue Valley. Now I'm still friends with the white boy. You see what I'm saying? But he's not close enough to me physically to fund me.
Right.
Like how it was back in the day. So he would do things to make sure that I got from A to B, but he couldn't give me the A to Z.
Yeah.
I get you to B, you get
Gotta
C,
pick-
D, and E, and then I
yeah.
pick you up at F.
Yeah.
He was moving like that. So I meet homeboy. He from my turf. He's not of the turf. He's from the turf. Cool dude. I can't, you know what I'm saying? Cool from what I knew at that time. We wasn't close or nothing, but we were cool enough for us to talk. He said, man, I want to start a record label. First thing I said was, hey, man, the guys that did this before me had a lot of loot. Do you got loot like that? He said, what kind of loot? So I threw a number out there like, man, they spent $300,000 on this shit. That nigga said, I can spit that out. I said, well, let's get it going then. Let's get it going. Because when you talk to me like that, I'm thinking liquidity. You can spend this shit, and if you spend it and don't make it back, listen, side note, when I asked Travis, hey man, can I be on Strange? I just want to be on Strange. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, and I got a lot of money. I'm recording music, don't know what the fuck to do with it. Travis said, I'm not right now. We're $8 million in the hole, Rob.
Shout out Travis.
Shout out Travis, because guess what? That nigga's a real investor.
Yeah.
That means at $8 million in the hole, he still's like, hey, Tech, we're still going to
let's
keep
go.
going.
Yeah, we still going to drop this motherfucking album.
Man,
nigga.
stop playing with me, man.
Yeah, we still going to tour.
Make a long story short, ice cream cone got in maybe 80, 90 grand, man, and disappeared on me, man. Had the police come and take the recover the motherfucker promotion van from me. So, plainclothes SWAT team, his family members, man, had me involved in some more goofball ass type shit, man.
Yeah.
And I have yet to see him, and that was 21 years ago.
He's somewhere on the island, probably.
Nah, he's somewhere here, man.
You think he's somewhere
You know,
here?
probably saying, yeah, I'm the one that put that second album of his out. Well, let's make it clear on the heart of the 50 states. My guys, Chud and the white boy.
Yeah, we're going to keep his name
They
silent,
put
man.
that shit, nah, it's just fucking public now.
It is, but let them
Yeah,
go
let them
do
figure
the,
that out. Yeah, let them do their due diligence. But they the ones that constructed that album, and he was supposed to help push it forward. So he was a marketing, he's supposed to be my marketing investor, so to speak. What he did is we recorded 3 extra songs, me and one of my little brother, like 3 extra songs. And this nigga's, it irks me. On that second album, he's listed as the fucking executive producer. And he got a goddamn suit on. Motherfucker.
All right, let's get off of that bullshit right quick. You are one of the very few people left that have actually worked with Fat Tone.
Yeah, that's my guy, man.
Do you have a Fat Tone story?
Man, I got so many Fat Tone stories, man. Like so many. I've told so many, man. I'll tell you this, cuz. I'll tell you this. So we had a line to Atlanta. You know, me and Chud and the white boy. We had a direct line to Atlanta. So on right before my 21st birthday, so that would have been August of 2001, we had got a room at the Swiss Hotel across the street from the Lenox Mall. I don't know if I don't know if you know, but it's a swanky ass hotel across the street from Lenox when Buckhead was Buckhead. This was back in the day, right? When that
I've
shit.
been there in the last couple
You
years.
know
but
what
I
I'm
don't
talking.
remember.
I know you know. Come on now. Come on now. I know this nigga global, not local. This
listen,
nigga global.
I can tell by his conversation
he
earlier.
global. He
He'd
global.
have been around.
Yeah, that's my guy. That's my guy. So I get the shit at we get the shit at the you know what I'm saying, so the white boy got us recording music. You know what I'm saying? Me, Fat Tone. I remember me and Fat Tone did a song called Jay Bizzle, and we made the song because Remember that one dude, Drama? Left, right.
Yeah,
We was in the studio with him back then. You know what I'm saying? And he had a bunch of chicks at his crib, and we was young and on that Kansas City shit, and Fat Tone kept trying to get the chicks to give him a blowjob, and they wouldn't. So he said, listen, because they wouldn't, this nigga said, come on, cuz, we're going to make a song called J Bizzle, which was blowjob, right? So all these bitches is like, what's J Bizzle? All night, they wanted to know what J Bizzle was. So once the song was completed, Fat Tone was like, it mean to suck my dick, bitch. It's going in, you know what I'm saying? But the activity don't stop there. So the night of my birthday, so the night before my birthday, or on my birthday, me and Fat Tone went out to eat. My 21st birthday, me and Fat Tone by ourselves. We eating at the restaurant at the bottom of the Swiss Hotel. I gotta say hotel because it don't got an H on it. It's an O with a little mark above it.
And this is in Atlanta.
This is in Atlanta. This is in Buckhead. This is in the swanky section of Atlanta. I don't know how swanky it is now. They said it turned a little hood, cuz, you know what I'm saying? All right. So check it out. This nigga eating. We eating, we having a good time. Cuz, you doing your thing, cuz. He giving me my prop, boy. Hey, cuz, them niggas taking care of you, cuz. And I'm cheesing like, yeah, Fat Tone, I'm doing really good. I'm doing awesome, Fat Tone. That nigga eating, that nigga said, boom. I look. He said, cuz, let's rob these niggas, cuz.
He'll get on some bullshit quick.
I said, Fat Tone,
He'll get on some bullshit quick.
We can't rob them. I didn't talk these niggas into flying you down here, you know, to get you on the label.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get you signed to Savage Records. Because again, I'm the president of the label. So I get to make some calls. Some calls. So I'm like, man, we need to sign Fat Tone. So Fat Tone like, nah, cuz, nigga. I said, why we gonna rob them? He said, because in the end, cuz, the feds and the lawyers is gonna get everything, cuz. I swear to God. I swear to God. He said, so we might as well get it now. I said, cuz, you crazy, cuz. Yeah. These niggas done put me in a crib and bought me jewelry and all kind of shit. You want to just stick them up?
Man.
So I go tell the white boy, like, hey, man, I think we need to send him home, man.
No more signing Fat Tone.
I tell the white boy, he's like, dude, what's going on, man? He's hot. He's good. I'm like, hey, man, that nigga might cause some problems around the label, man.
Hey,
so mind you, it's my birthday. We get back. It's time to go out. And, hey, Reese, if you see this, Reese, you know I done told this story in front of you, nigga, so I got to tell it to my guy, Fat Marcus. We get back to we go out. So Fat Tone in the club antagonizing people in the club, got 2 bottles in his hand, mugging niggas. Yeah, big niggas Kansas City on mine. Yeah. I'm like, yo, you can't do that down here, bro. You can't do that in Atlanta, man. These country niggas will fuck us up. So we all hype. It's my birthday. We get back to the room. Everybody scatter trying to get somewhere to stay. We young. We ain't buying multiple rooms. We all staying together. Room. Yeah. So the white boy get a bed off the rip. I'm getting a bed off the rip because it's my partner. You know what I'm saying? So Reese jumps on the couch. So Fat Tone left standing up. Fat Tone come over to me. He like, hey, cuz, let me get this bed. No. Nah, this is what he did. He went to the white boy first. And I said, hey, cuz, don't do that. You can't do that. Hey, you can't do that. Don't. He paid for everything, nigga. You know what I'm saying? You can't
about to make the wrong. We all about to be out this motherfucker. For real.
So then he come over to me. And as I'm laying down already, everybody done ran in they shit. So I'm laying down and I'm looking up at him. He like, cuz, get up. I said, now, you know I ain't about to move. You know I ain't about to move, nigga. So he walked away. He went over to Reese. He said, get up, Reese. He said, come on, Fat Tone, man. You know I was here first. He said, man, come on, man. Get up, man. And start kind of tugging him a little bit. He's like, man, come on, man. You know I was here first. Man, Fat Tone beat the shit out of Reese, man.
No
Busted
shit.
his mouth open and shit, man. Made that nigga get off that motherfucking futon.
Oh, that sound like him.
You know what I'm saying?
Like him,
and
bro,
I drive Reese about that shit to this day because Fat Tone wasn't even that tough. You could have barked at Fat Tone and he would have, okay, cuz, it's all good, cuz. Fat Tone wasn't like that.
Nah, he wasn't.
You know, they got him in this thing, but he wasn't like that.
Yeah, he kind of got a bad rap at the end of his run.
He liked taking credit for things that he didn't do.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
that was an issue too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He understood what people were doing now. He understood to do that back then. Look, just think about that, bro.
When Mac Dre got killed, his name was in it. Mm-hmm. This is on Everything I Love. I use the context clues, how they teach you in school. Yeah. I said, bro, you got all the attention of the streets. Everybody's saying you got something to do with it. I said, nigga, won't you let me call these news channels for you, bro, and set up a press conference? Because they really want to find out who did it, and maybe you can use this as an opportunity to speak against it and promote your music and call for peace in the community. Swear to God, you know what that nigga said? Oh, RB, man, you trying to get me on some of that bullshit, man. Yeah. Man, R.O.B., man, you can do that shit, R.O.B. I said, but I ain't got nothing to do with it.
Yeah. You
know what I'm saying? Even before listen, man, when the weekend before Fat Tone left and went to Vegas, I was with that nigga every day. He had an SS, me, him, and Cowboy. How I met Cowboy, I was staying on 45th Street with my cousin. How I met Cowboy is my little cousins, they know Fat Tone too. You know what I'm saying? And they's like, hey, Fat Tone down the street. So when I'm walking down the street, I knew that was him because it was a clean-ass SS. But I noticed it was a nigga standing outside of the SS that wasn't, I don't know this nigga. Couldn't find out it was Cowboy. But Cowboy was Fat Tone's security, and he was going to kill for Fat Tone.
Oh, yeah.
So when I walked up, he postured. Like, you know, when a nigga got that blizzard on him. You know what I'm saying? He had that blizzard on him, and he postured, but Fat Tone cracked the window. He said, who is that, cuz? He's like, who are you? And I told him, he said, some dude named Rob. And then Fat Tone, oh, what's up, cuz? Get here, cuz. And from them days forward, you know what I'm saying? We hadn't seen each other in a minute. From them days forward, we hung around. I was in the car with him when he talked to Young Buck or one of them G-Unit niggas when they was in Canada filming Get Rich or Die Trying. Because if you remember, the rumor was Fat Tone was trying to get with G-Unit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Or trying to find a link to them. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I do a lot of intricate things and intimate things about Fat Tone, man, and I feel like that he was going to ride the wave off of just his name being involved with it if he could. Yeah. And he ain't had shit to do with that shit.
Crazy. Rest in peace to Fat Tone, bro. I missed the music. Legendary shit you did, bro. Rest in peace. Salute to his family. Salute to his kids and all that, man. I recently seen an interview.
Okay.
With you in it, not indelibly marked, but one for 39th Street. I always thought you was from Fort Trey this whole time. I never knew you was Seven Oaks area. Yeah,
man. Let me give you a little history about that. So, you know, if anybody know that area, the Seven Oaks is a community.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Then you got Vineyard, that's a community. And then down the street from there, you had Holy Temple. Yes. That's a community. These are all communities along 39th Street. And, you know, I was raised up in the Seven Oaks community. You know what I'm saying? My father is an original Seven Oaks, you know, brother. You know what I'm saying? And I got a lot of history in that particular community. And that's where I initially learned the maneuverings of the underworld is by way of 39th Street. You know what I'm saying? Now, how that whole 43rd Street came in, now them niggas was Crips down there on 39th, but how that whole Fort Trey shit came in is by going to the Boys and Girls Club on 43rd in Cleveland. And them dudes up there was like super loked out Crips. Yeah. They were slocks.
Shout out Doped Up.
Yeah, shout out to my homie 50 RIP. But this was even before our era.
Yeah.
He's not included in that because he was young like me. But them dudes was like manny. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, they had the royal blue. You know, niggas in the Seven Oaks, I think they wore more navy. You know what I'm saying? But up there, the niggas wore royal blue and baby blue and shit.
Royal blue.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Them niggas was fly hat, Jerry curls. Them was, there was an interlinkage. So it was niggas that claimed full tray, but they families was on 39.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So it was like an interlinkage thing, right? It just goes to show you that all of us were just some lost motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's no way that I could justify how I ended up doing this or doing that, because now that I'm this age and this wise, I can say it was all a bunch of goofy shit anyway, because I don't own a piece of real estate over there.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? I don't direct traffic over there at all.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a place that I have memories that shape who I am, and I have a certain level of affinity in my heart for that, for that.
Yeah.
I don't have, you know what I'm saying? I still get my hair cut over there, though.
Yeah. Shout out to Seven Oaks and Faux Trey over there.
Yeah, but just
Everybody
going to the
still
Boys
is.
and Girls Club, that you had older dudes that introduced me to that Crip shit on a heavier level up there. And then, I'm on 39, so me and my brother, we get together like, hey, nigga, let's start Faux Trey 9, nigga.
Yeah.
So we had that Faux Trey 9, if you remember that. That's me, Reggie, June, Lil Walt, Bossy Low, all the young niggas from both of them neighborhoods.
Yeah, shout out Bossy. Hey, when I first started coming around, that's one of the first original Faux Trey dudes I met that they introduced me to was a Bossy Low.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know where he is now.
Bossy got like 100 years in the feds, but he's still fighting to come home.
Yeah, shout out, salute, bro, salute. You was always a real one to me. I heard you say your brother, G-Class Cuts.
Yeah.
How's y'all relationship these days?
Man, we don't have a relationship, Marcus. You know what I'm saying? In order for me to explore that, because we've been all over the place, I hope you know that.
Yeah.
We've tapped in with a lot of things, but one of your original questions is what I came home to following my case.
Right.
And I said I had to get into this, and then we just kind of splitting off into so much different shit, and I'm glad I remember. So before we get off into my brother, our relationship is a reflection of decisions that I made associated with my case.
Okay.
All right? Now we're going to peel back a few layers. There's going to be probably some things that I keep reserved to myself, not for privacy purposes, but just for information and entertainment purposes, brother. I can't give you everything.
Understandable.
So, with that being said, let's go back. My white boy say, you know what? Why don't you bring me somebody? You know all these people. I'll let you be an intermediary. Bring me somebody. So I got linked up with this St. Louis dude. You know what I'm saying? Gangster from St. Louis, North Side nigga, right? He came up here to see me to make sure that I was official like a referee's whistle. And this nigga tied into the dark alleys and fucking subterraneans of St. Louis. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to the Lou.
Yeah, shout out to the motherfucking Lou. So the nigga came up here. He came to a studio session of mine. And he had a badass chick with him, too. I remember that, And the nigga had on a motherfucking belt buckle with diamonds. Not no motherfucking rhinestones. The nigga had a diamond belt buckle on. He was a fly black-ass nigga, right? I don't know the nigga from a can of paint, but the person that introduced me, the third party, was an honorable individual. It was his nephew. And his nephew had peeped my stilo. And he said, man, I know somebody you need to meet. I meet dude, and I tell dude, all right, we're going to go to Mexico. We're going to take a private jet. And we went down there. You know what I'm saying? And I remember, he was like, man, who the fuck are you? Like he was overwhelmed, you know what I'm saying? So we get down there and we was able to orchestrate something that would leave me out of it, but get me paid, right? It appeared to be lucrative. But it was moving so fast. And I hadn't actively participated in nothing hands-on on that level. I couldn't keep control over it. And it was getting messy, and it fizzled out. And I was thankful for the fizzling because it allowed me to reflect on what was going on and how I could do it better if I was able to get put in that position again. Years later, I would, in a different type of way. By way of desperation. So when my little brother got murdered in 2007, the white boy called me and said, you know what? I've made a decision. I'm going to help you. I'm going to put you on. After all these years, though, man. After all this me asking you, and you'll just say, I'll give you $5,000. How about that? I'm not going to say no, but I need to do something. That was his way, in my interpretation, of compensating me for the pain of just him not being there for me during this passing of my little brother. You feel me? So he say, I'm going to send you, go to Kansas City. You know what I'm saying? Go to Kansas City. I'm in Phoenix at the time. I come up here, I do my thing, and it becomes overwhelming to me. And when I reflect, the overwhelmingness was paranoia. I remember it.
Like you knew somebody was watching you, or
not
you felt
necessarily.
Like somebody was watching.
It was more like, I'm gonna go to jail, man. You know how like when you a kid and you doing something with your boys and you got that one partner that's like, hey guys, we might get in trouble for this, man. Yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
Even when we winning, hey guys, you know that this carries a life sentence, right? Just to make sure that you know, because you might not have thought about it.
Yeah.
I need you to know that. See what I'm saying? So I'm independent, so I don't got nobody to talk to. Just my spirit talking to me. And I listened. So I robbed him. I just gingerbreaded him.
Yeah.
It's gingerbread. Catch me if you can. I'm the gingerbread man. You know what I'm saying?
Ran off on the plug.
No, we're not going to say that. No, we're not going to say that. That's cliche. It sounds like some fucking slimy shit.
Yeah.
And I'm being fucked.
Yeah.
And don't say no Diddy shit, because we know what the fuck I'm talking about.
I don't do the homo shit, no.
I'm being
Diddy.
fucked. Right? And it's not an aggressive fuck, but I have to respond to being fucked by saying, curtain call, it's over. Give me what I got. I'll take what I got. And you're okay.
Yeah.
You're not going to get killed or anything. I know you. You're my friend. This is just a chip off the old block. You know what I'm saying? So he predicted what happened. I spent it and went broke. A couple years later, he sends somebody to come see me in Phoenix again. I'm living in Phoenix again. It's one of his friends, one of his comrades. He said, get dressed, we're going to Mexico. So we go to Mexico, we had a great time. You know, rode jet skis in the Sea of Cortez. You know what I'm saying? Fuck some Spanish prostitutes, you know what I'm saying? You know? Ate some top-notch cuisine, you know what I'm saying? So we were able to rekindle our friendship. He forgave me. We moved forward. Get back to Kansas City. So I'm like, what am I going to do? I'm working. He's like, quit your job. You're going to live with him, and we're going to get to this bag. It's a different voice. I'm like, oh, yeah, this is what I want to hear. This is the nigga that I've been looking for. When I get up here, homeboy want to control me. Not my dude, his dude.
Yeah.
Now, I know his dude. I can't say nothing bad about him. He better not say nothing bad about me.
Yeah.
But he can't. He can't. He was fucking off the money. Unbeknown to me.
So not sending back.
Nah, he's going to go gamble at all these fucking casinos around town and blowing it. I get the complaint on the back end, and he's like, dude, y'all owe me this amount of money. And I know I don't owe you shit. I've been turning all this shit in. So now he's coming to me with a square or two, like, hey, can you make these into 3 or 4? Because we're short. And I'm like, even if I made them into 5, nigga, we still 150 bands short or some crazy shit. So we're fucked. So now I'm thinking exit strategy. How can can I get out of this? So he said, find me somebody. My white boy. Find me somebody else then. It's not going to be you. So I called somebody that I built a relationship with in Atlanta, a Kansas City nigga. It's probably one of the worst decisions that I've ever made because I didn't know these people, but that's what I wanted. Somebody that I didn't know. No emotional connections. It's all fucking business. Quick Trip doesn't give a fuck about if you wear a pacemaker. You said 50 on 3, nigga. Here's your 50 on 3, nigga. You get my $50. You know what I'm saying? So he makes a big purchase for me. He likes it, but he wasn't ready to go to the next level, so he introduces me to his uncle, right? I was familiar with his uncle, So I said, okay, yeah, we can deal with each other. So I tell my people, hey, he kind of wiped me out. Looked like he can do something. He said, well, let's fly him down here. Let's come down here. We go down there, me and the uncle. And when the uncle get down there, he's got on all his jewelry. I'm like, dog, you know, you weren't supposed to do that. That was my first red flag, right? That's a big red flag. I ain't never wore no jewelry to Mexico.
Yeah.
So we get there and we lay out these parameters, these rules, okay, that I'm already familiar with. I've been dealing with this guy at this point for several years. I know how he operates. I know what he doesn't like. We lived together. We were roommates. So we lay out these parameters. He's even fucking solidifying it by saying, man, Rob know how I am. I'm like, yep, I know how you are, cuz. You know what I'm saying, too? You know what I'm saying? So we coming back, and I'm telling dude, I said, hey, man, this is how you got to operate at the border crossing. You know what I'm saying? Just be normal, da-da-da-da. She's going to ask you this, and this is what you say. You just be normal. He get up there to my, how's your day going? That bitch asked for, I did what I'm supposed to do, U.S. citizen, give her my shit. That bitch looked at that shit. She looked at both of our IDs. She set the motherfuckers down, pulled out her gun. She's like, get out of the car now. Yeah. Man, fucking border agents came from everywhere, nigga. Now, mind you, I just bought some fucking scandalous ass weed from some Mexican while I'm in line. It's like, esta mucha mota, ¿qué pasó? ¿Cuántos? You know, I'm talking my Spanish to this motherfucker, trying to figure out how much you got and how much how much you want for it. So I needed some weed for the ride back to Phoenix before we board our flight and head back to Kansas City. Boom. I didn't tuck that shit, right? And then that shit happened. They take us to jail. They got the mirrors underneath the car. They banging on the car, on the fender, on the tires. And they think we loaded to the T. They put me in a cell. It's Mexicans in the cell just looking at me. Everybody looking at me. They speaking Spanish. And I'm like, I'm looking at them like, who, me? You guys are talking to me? You know, not like no soft-ass nigga, but like, hey, you talking to me, bro? Like me? Me? Like, you want something? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm really spooked for real. But, you know, when you spook, that's when that her comes out of you. You know what I'm saying? So, cop after cop coming in that cell, searching me. Man, this one motherfucker, this motherfucker had me damn near doing a percolator. That motherfucker kept kicking my legs, nigga. I wanted to just say, can I get my phone? I want to play that shit. It's time for the percolator. It's time for the percolator. That motherfucker had me doing a splits like, I'm like, these motherfuckers know I got something in my shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, damn, man. So they got this nigga in another cell. You see what I'm saying? This is during our initial meeting. So he say, they didn't find nothing. They just sent all these motherfuckers. So finally they tell me, okay, you free to go. We're going to have somebody come get you. I come out. They walk me through a maze. I come out. I'm in the lobby of the Border Patrol station, right? On the border of the United States in fucking Nogales, Mexico, right? So I'm sitting there and I'm putting on my shoes and shit. I'm like, hey, where's my homeboy? He's like, he'll be out in a minute. I want to ask you one thing. What were you guys doing in Mexico? And don't lie to me. I said, man, I was down here fucking prostitutes. So the nigga said, and mind you, I know my little military symbol, so I think I do. So if you got a flower, you're a major, right? You're a major if you got a little flower right here, right? Whoever this motherfucker, he's lieutenant colonel, major, some high-level motherfucker, right? And they said, so you're from Grandview, Missouri, and you drove all the way to Mexico to fuck prostitutes? I said, believe it or not, they're cheaper down here. Hey, man, that nigga said, I know what you came down here for, but in my head, I'm like, no, you don't, motherfucker. Yeah. No, you don't. He was like, and when I put it all together, we're going to come get you. You know, that evil, I'm thinking that evil laugh because that's how I felt like. You know what I'm saying? And so here come my boy. He think it's a game. He laughing like, damn, cuz they got us fucked up, cuz. I'm like, nigga, I'm mad as a motherfucker. You got all this motherfucking jewelry on, nigga. We look like some niggas. We look like niggers. El negro. El Negro. You know what I'm saying? It's my second time getting stopped by the Mexican. Well, the first time was the Border Patrol. Excuse me. The second time was the Border Patrol. The first time was the Mexican military. The Mexican military in the middle of the desert. I had to pretend like I was a University of Texas El Paso student doing research on Mexican culture. You know what I'm saying? That's how I wiggled myself out of that one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But so anyway, they let us go. We riding back to Phoenix, and I'm like, damn, bro, who are you? I don't know this man. We're strangers. All right? So he told me he did a lot of time in the joint, over a decade and a half in the joint, and how he's hot. Not hot in the sense of but people know of him. I swear to God, I called the white boy. I said, hey, man, this is a no. He's like, what's going on? I said, man, he said, you're paranoid, and you're in it. These are your people. You're in it. I said, damn, that shit was heavy. Ain't nobody ever said that to me. You know? And then my flesh started eating away at me as far as saying, I'm about to just I'm going to walk away and let these niggas get all this cocksucking cash, nigga. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't about to do that. So, make a long story short, we started gaining momentum, and then the robberies started happening. Robberies started happening for $500,000 and more, right? And the aftermath of one of the robberies created an invasion from the feds. So my co-defendant found out who robbed him for several kilos of cocaine and close to $1 million. So he put out a hit, allegedly, according to the government, on the individual that set it up, which was a friend of his, who's now deceased. The feds heard this phone call in real time. So they said, we can't let that happen. Go get all of them. So the murder for hire was a catalyst for the whole shit to fall down.
Yeah.
The investigation was only 3 months old. It started when we went to Mexico.
So did y'all fall under the RICO Act?
No, it wasn't a RICO because there wasn't. You got to have businesses and shit.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It was a international drug trafficking conspiracy.
Okay, I just wanted that to be clear.
Yeah, it wasn't a RICO at all. It was $20 million.
Yeah.
So, what happened was when the feds came, of course, everybody's surprised or whatever. But as things got broken down, I seen that the case didn't have anything to do with me. Now, you hear a lot of niggas say that. But, you have these things called preliminary hearings before all of this shit gets adjudicated or settled. You have preliminary hearings. And in one of the preliminary hearings, I remember the prosecutor had 16 of us. They had 16 of us in the courtroom, and they went down a list of things that tactics, and if they were successful in using these tactics on each one of us, right? So they may say, Joe Brown, phone wiretaps, yes. Phone pictures, yes. And all this shit, right? No. When they got to me, everything was no. So I nudged my lawyer. I said, hey, what the fuck is going on? She's like, hey, you need to chill out. I'll talk to you outside. So we get outside, and she told me, she said, somebody corroborated against you. Now, in a conspiracy, you don't know who it is for real until you go to trial, if you go to trial. Outside of that, you got to use context clues and shit like that, and sometimes it could be difficult because it could be multiple people that's fucking you.
Or somebody that you don't even know that jumped on your case.
Exactly. So I was in the dark. I ain't never been caught with any money. I don't have a checkered criminal past. This shit just came out of nowhere. When it all was said and done, I was looking at a pretty hefty sentence, about a minimum of 40 years in the joint. And I had an option. So prior to me turning myself in, my white boy called me. He's like, man, I'm sorry, man. I should have listened to you. I used to always say, man, let's not fuck with this cocaine, man. It's just a dangerous realm. Let's stick with this pot. Pot's safe. Yeah. Pot's good for people.
Not so many years.
Not so many years with pot. And people don't think you're a monster when you're selling pot. It's like he's
just weed.
He's the pot supplier. Yeah,
he's
he's the weed man. So there was a darker element to dealing with them birds. You know what I'm saying? You dealing with a different gangster, a different drive for that money. It's more evil. You see what I'm saying? So he say, man, I'm sorry. We cried on the phone together. I was in the back of Greedy's restaurant on Thru.
Shout out Greedy.
And he didn't know I was back there. I was like running into nowhere.
Yeah.
I just took off running out the house and ended up behind this nigga restaurant. And once I got there, I'm like, how the fuck did I end here? You know what I'm saying? So he say, look, dude, you got some options. I said, what are they? Because I'm confused. I ain't never been indicted. This shit is I'm fucked up. I'm crying with him. And I'm a man. And my tears was inspired by confusion. I don't know what the fuck to do. I'm confused. So he's like, you got a couple options. You can come down here and live with me. But you'll never be able to talk to your brother. You'll never be able to talk to your mother. You're going to live like me. And then I'm going to get you somewhere where it's people that look like you. Make sure you know Spanish and get you, you got a nice chunk of money. Right. And I'm like, damn, bro. I'm like, that's a lie. He's like, I know, man, but you in a real situation and I'm trying to help you. I'm like, what's my other option? He said, give him me. I said, oh, no, I can't do that, cuz. I can't do that. And he said, well, you're going to jail for the rest of your life. He said, bro, do you understand that this is big? Now, he had people going through the back door getting all kind of documents and seeing what I was up against, because it was allegedly a sealed indictment, but he was able to figure some shit out. Yeah. And I was able to find out the weight, the gravity of my situation. You know what I'm saying? I was number 2 underneath him, or number 3 or number 2 or whatever. So he said, your other option is to give him me. You're the only person that knows me. You're still going to go to jail, but you're not going to get that much time once they figure out who I am. So I was like, damn, cuz, I don't know, man. I don't know. I cried.
That's a hard one
I
to
cried.
deal with, bro.
The girl that I was dating at the time, if she really want to be candid and honest, she'll tell you, man, that shit tore me into pieces to juggle with that decision. I grew up on the same principles as you. You know what I'm saying? I grew up on that shit, dog. So, Marcus, you get in my car with a gun. We street niggas. It's my gun. We get pulled over. We both felons. I'm supposed to just let you go to the feds, or am I supposed to say, officers, that's not his gun? Or am I supposed to let you go to the feds and not even say that was my gun? Because that means I got to take care of you. And there's no rule book written for that shit. Yeah. Who the fuck said? Why ain't nobody said who the fuck told on Rob? Yeah. He's been diligently delivering for years with no problem. And he hooks up with these characters and things go crumbling down. Nobody... Look, man, when you don't got a stain on your name and some things happen, people say, oh, my God, he's got one. Yeah, he's got one. I get to talk about him now.
I'm experiencing that right now.
It's okay. It's okay. It's why you got to stand firm.
Yeah.
You got to stand firm.
They almost got me. They almost got me to go get into their world, but I shut it off.
Yeah,
I shut it off.
Firm.
I act like it, You
got to see. My brother came home from a long bid hearing about this shit. And we never had an opportunity to sit down and talk about it. And what he did is he got out in the streets and gossiped.
Got the story from Tom, Dick, and Harry. Yeah. And I can guarantee you just me telling you this is not the intricate version of my story. Right. We'll get into it, but not on here.
Yeah,
we don't want,
But I'm just saying. So, my brother don't owe me nothing, but he owe me everything. My brother's a successful person in whatever he does. You know what I'm saying?
That's something else I was getting
but when my brother was locked up, I risked my life on several different occasions, my freedom for my brother, to make sure that he had his machine going inside of there. The people around me that he didn't even know, that he's never really met, gave him money on my behalf. He's able to posture himself in the community based on what I did, and that's a beautiful thing because I'm his brother. But he's tried to play this case shit against me and use it as a divisive tool and not just my private life, but my public life as well. And what's disturbing about it is that I'm seeing my brother in pictures with men who've done the same thing as me, which helps me understand that it's not really my case, then it's deeper. And I think it's something rooted in some jealousy, man. And, you know, me and him are going to have to address that one day. You know what I'm saying? We're going to have to address that. You know, I know we look alike. We sound alike. We articulate ourselves in similar ways. But you can only go by what a person shows you. And what he showed me is everything that but of a brother. Now, what he says is, oh, man, that's my little brother. I'd kill a nigga for my little brother. Well, I'm not a proponent of murder. I'm not a proponent of violence. You know what I'm saying? Because violence should be your last resort. And if it isn't, then that means that you're having unmanaged emotions. So to say that your highest level of going to bat for me is by murdering another man, then you better be my motherfucking security guard. My bodyguard, and that's what you do for a living. And I'm paying you for that. Because that should be something that we should never have to even entertain as brothers. But that's his way of compensating for the bullshit. So when I see somebody like you that know us both, and you say, well, I seen your brother, man. You know, he said he loved you and he a fucking nigga up behind you. Which sometimes I don't doubt. But that doesn't negate some of the bullshit that he's displayed, some of the interference that he's taken part in that I don't need to have an understanding for. I've already put a jacket on him, a certain jacket on him for it, because let me help you understand something, man. I was involved in a lawsuit. I was the plaintiff. I did this.
Doing the suing.
I'm doing the suing. This wasn't a malicious lawsuit. This is just a scenario that I'm going to present you to show you. This is a microcosmic view of me and the dynamic of me and my brother's relationship. A microcosmic view. So you'll understand. So the house that we grew up in, my father owned it, right? He died without a will. So the house automatically went into me and my brother's names, right? When we were teenagers, my brother catch that case. Around that time, my mama sold the house. She came to us. Hey, I'm going to sell your house. She gave us some money. We were happy, right? A few years later, the guy that she sold the house to, he come back to her. He's like, hey, I need to get this house out of your boy's name because it was still in our name. Even though she sold it to him, it was still in me and my brother's names. So she signed off on it again. It still didn't work. So years later after that, she come to the nigga again. I mean, he come to my mom again and say, hey, I want to sell the house to my homeboy, but it's in you, Greg and Rob's name. She said, well, Rob ain't gonna sign nothing. Greg in jail. So she signed it. And guess what? It still didn't work. Now, we got to entertain what happened before that. I told my brother that we keep getting mail about Daddy's house, and this house is still in our name, and we both were frustrated. We got so frustrated, I went to my parents. These are friends of my stepfather, or associates, or comrades, or however the fuck you want to classify it. Say, hey, man, these guys got this house in my name. They got to get it out. I'm 30 years old. I'm up. They say, hey, we're tired. Whatever you going to do, you going to do. I got the blessings of my parents. I tell Greg, hey, man, I'm taking Daddy's house back. Got his blessings, right? So I went and filed an affidavit of fraudulent conveyance on my own, right? Put the courts on notice that there's some fraud shit going on. But then after doing research, I found out that if I pursue this, that I could get my mom in trouble. She doesn't deserve to be in trouble. She was just doing a noble act. You know what I'm saying?
I know how that can be, bro.
So I just backed up off of it and kept it on there. I didn't go forward. Well, I ended up going to prison. This is when it gets funky. I call home from jail. This is just a microcosmic view of the bigger picture between me and this nigga. He said, hey, man, did you put a lien on daddy's house? I said, yeah, you knew about that when you were in prison. He said, hey, man, you got to take that off, dog. You do. Them niggas that own that house, they some real-ass niggas. I said, well, I'm a real man, and it's a difference between the two. They got to pay me. He said, they ain't got to pay you shit, nigga. You told, nigga. I said, what? I said, well, tell them they got to treat me like a white person. They can't do a white person like this. They can't make a white person just sign their name. That y'all bullying me. And you letting these niggas use you as a conduit to bully me. You a bitch-ass nigga. We argued about it. You know what I did as a brother? I signed off on it like a dummy. But guess what happened? The people downtown's like, nope, we want to talk to that guy, which is me. I didn't know this, though. I go to prison, I get out, I get a letter, still in my name. I go to my brother. Man, what the fuck is up? I thought you fixed this. He like, man, just let that shit go, bro. Let it go, bro. Let it go. So I let it go. Get another letter. I'm like, you know what? I'm tired, man. What the fuck is going on? I'll go down to the courthouse. I get all the documents. I use ChatGPT and find out that I'm in fucking position to sue everybody. So what I did is I went to my mom, my heart, the lady that I love, and I explained to her and her husband, my stepfather, what's going on, and that they're not going to be in any trouble. When they get the lawsuit, just ball it up, throw it in the trash. It's called a quiet title. That means it's a lot of noise surrounding this title, and we're going to use the court to quiet it down. I had to use layman's terms to my family because they're not studying law like I am. So I filed a lawsuit. Boy, when I filed that lawsuit, boy, everybody went crazy. It's like pulling a gun out and pointing it. Everybody, you crazy. So somehow they connect me and the dude that I'm suing. The dude that bought it from.
Yeah, I know.
Man, that nigga talk cold to me, bro. He's a known figure in this city. Nigga tried to talk, man ain't never talked cold to me in my life. And I knew that what he was saying, he was getting it from my brother. My brother then fed him information about me that made him feel like that he could talk crazy to me. So I talked crazy back. Man offered me $2,500. I said, I ain't accepting $2,500 for you for the sign. I'm telling you what I want. I told him the figure that I wanted. If you want to look this case up, I'll provide you with the case number at the end of this podcast and verify that I'm not full of shit. I filed all of my own documents. I fought against a Jewish lawyer named Bob Zeldin. I fucking won. Now, during the court proceedings, my brother came to court, bro, on their behalf, on these men's behalf, to try to bully me into dropping the lawsuit, bro. That was devastating, bro. You know what I'm saying? You showed up with these, you don't know these people. You don't know these people. They was trying to bully me. And what it helped me understand that a lot of black people bully each other. They won't stand up to white people. And I'm not talking about violently. I'm just saying stand up for yourself. They try to bully other black people. And then when a black person stands up, another black person becomes violent. You know what you are to me? A fucking coward. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to kill another black person because nobody cares about black people anyway. It's fucked up, but it is what it is.
Yeah, facts are facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Is there any fixing it though? Wow.
I doubt it, highly doubt it. You know, I got a dead brother, man.
That's gotta be fixed, bro. Y'all gotta figure that out, bro.
Man, my brother got to step down off of that horse. They've been riding for quite a while, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, maybe he's a slave to an illusion. Maybe he got caught up in playing catch up. I don't know. I have never had a conversation with that man. I have not talked to that man one time since I've been out of prison. You know what I'm saying? And it was, like I said, it was shrouded in what happened to me with my federal case. All right? I'm not the first nor the last, but I'm one of the few that will stand on a decision that I made and articulate what happened to me confidently and not giving a fuck what you think about me. Not you, Marcus. You my guy. I'm saying generally. You know what I'm saying? Real talk.
Yeah. I hate to see situations like this, bro.
Well, you're gonna always see them because they've been going on since the Bible.
Know, but I'll put it to you like this. Then I haven't had one so close to me that where I know both brothers are good dudes. Well, and it needs to be a conversation. Maybe it is past a conversation, but I don't think between brothers it's never past a conversation.
Well, I mean, it shouldn't be. Like I said, I ain't ever talked to dude. I just, you know, he's pillow talked about me to a lot of people, a lot of weird ass things that he's done, man, and it makes me, you know, I don't know who he is anymore.
I was scary to say that. Y'all need to get to know each other.
And here's the thing. Here's what was important. When my brother went to prison, and we came up in this street shit together. So, when my mom moved us to the suburbs, it didn't take me long to understand how fortunate I was to be able to go to school out there in Grandview. Back then, Grandview was Grandview. It was like the real suburbs. And I was like, damn, I ain't around no ratchet shit. So I stopped going to the city as much. I still went down there, but not as much. And I started kind of feeling like, damn, this is a better life. When my brother went to prison, I knew what I knew, so I knew that I had to be there for him like a brother and a friend, because we didn't have real friends that was going to be there for him. You know what I'm saying? And I did a lot for him, man, and he don't owe me nothing. You know what I'm saying? But the allegiances that I've seen him create with people that I don't fuck with at all, who's maybe I say, hey, man, I don't fuck with this person because this happened when you was in prison. And then he go get cool with them. And then they say, oh, that didn't happen between me and your brother. And then he'll take their side. That's some weird ass shit with me. And I think he's uncomfortable with sitting at me and looking me in the eye and having to face the fact that I could articulate this and be like, hey, nigga, what the fuck you was doing that weird ass shit for? What the fuck is wrong with you, nigga? And talk to us like our daddy used to. What the fuck is wrong with you? Nigga, straighten your motherfucking back up. Pull yourself together and get off that motherfucking weird ass shit.
What about a fresh start, man?
A fresh start?
Just say fuck all the shit in the past, man.
You know, they say it's hard to make new friends when you're in your 40s.
It is, but that ain't your friend.
You know, he's got a title, okay? He's got a title.
I just want y'all to fix it, bro. So I think y'all can do some dope shit together.
We can. We possibly can, but, you know.
For a fact, I know you can.
Yeah, but success happens when you remove the ego.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I haven't been around him to know. I'm going off of what you're saying, but egos do get in the way of a lot of shit, especially today's time, bro. Yeah. It's sad.
And then as far as that lawsuit, nigga, I won. Nigga, I won. I made him give me all my money in all hundreds, too. You know what I'm saying?
Man, we've been at this shit almost 2 hours.
That's what we wanted to do. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Appreciate you.
Yeah, for sure.
I got one more question and then we're gonna be done
Talk
here,
to
man.
me.
Back to some Kansas City shit. Okay. You know, we got like the different award shows popping up, like the KCPCA awards and different stuff like that. How do you feel about the award shows and how the awards are given out here?
Okay, so that's a good question. I'm glad you brought that up. When I first came home from prison, the award shows was new. And this was me and my brother was still cool, and he was a nominee. And my interpretation of it and how it was ran and stuff, I just didn't feel like it was real. You know what I'm saying? So I had said that while he was cutting my hair or something. I'm like, that shit don't seem real, and he got mad. You know what I'm saying? And to come to find out, he already knew he was winning and all that shit.
Oh, so, whoa. What you mean he already knew
I guess he just
winning?
knew he was going to win because he stood up before they called his name that day. You know what I'm saying?
That's kind of crazy.
Whatever,
okay, yeah. Let's move on.
I'll tell you this, man. That ain't no different than the Grammys.
Yeah.
Let's just
keep it 100,
say,
yeah.
If my brother knew he was going to win, what the fuck is wrong with that?
Yeah.
I think he was just more uncomfortable that I knew because he asked me, who told you that? Who told you that it was fake? You know, he didn't know that was just my own interpretation. You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, if I'm getting a Grammy and somebody finessed it for me, it's not like I want everybody to know that it was finessed for me or I got it for favoritism. I don't want people to know that. Right. So this shit happens at award shows. So because of that, you got to think, I grew up making straight A's in school, okay? I was a fucking nerd, a hood-ass nerd. So I never went to my teachers and said, can you give me an award for making straight A's and winning the science competition? No, I exerted my skill and I got acknowledged for it. I didn't have to ask Marcus, hey, go tell Miss Rimmer to give me an award for that poem that I did yesterday. That shit is rooted in narcissistic behavior because it requires you to get on the internet and say, hey, guys, look at me. Go vote for me for that. And it ends up being a shell of an artist. They don't, you know what I'm saying? My thing with it was, I don't got nothing out to be nominated for an award unless they creatively tailor make something for me. But I wanted to perform at it because I like the aesthetic of what Terrell's doing when he puts it in these certain venues. So I reached out to him one year. I said, hey, man, what are the prerequisites? What are the requirements for me to be able to perform at this show? And he's like, well, we usually go off of what people have been doing all year. All right, cool. So I've watched. That's not true. That's not true. Fuck the award.
Yeah.
I'm talking about performance. That's not true. Because a lot of those people that I've seen perform can't rap. They can't rap. You know what I'm saying?
You 100.
And what the fuck have they done?
Yeah, well,
I think it should be more prestigious talent. I mean, you got motherfuckers in there, man, wearing the best of the best, man. Best of the best. And I think that, you know, just from the outside looking in, man, I wouldn't try to cater to every single motherfucker. Every single thing. Best donut maker, best cookie baker, best brisket maker, best rib soaker, best chitlin cleaner. God damn. Everybody in the city gonna have some type of nomination or an award. Man, I would fucking shrink that shit and make it a phenomenal music and entertainment experience. Meaning this is gonna be music, podcasts, and photographers and other honorable mentions. You know what I'm saying? It's too inclusive, and what it's doing is contributing to the culture of non-talented people.
Because it ultimately is a popularity contest
of no talent.
Yeah, as long as you can get people to go vote for you, you can win.
Man, when I meet somebody that's got a lot of jewelry on, some nice fucking hip hop fashion, they got, you know, their hair is nicely neat and done, cut or dreads or whatever, some nice Jordans and shit, and they got a mic and they're doing this, that don't mean that you can fucking rap.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts. Tell him, Rob. He ain't telling no lies.
You don't
here.
gotta be lyrical miracle to be a good rapper, but you have to have social insight. To have social insight, you gotta be able to read. You gotta be able to articulate yourself. I tell these niggas, take your rap, write it down, and go give it to somebody's grandma and tell them that it's a Langston Hughes poem.
Yeah. These clips are gonna go crazy. These clips are gonna go crazy.
It's all good.
Well, we heard Rob today, y'all. He didn't hold nothing back for me, and I appreciate that.
The ink in my pen is mixed with the blood in my heart. I got love for the art.
Really appreciate you coming through, man, fucking with me. It means a lot to me.
Good.
You know what I'm saying?
Good.
Especially coming from a friend, a brother.
No doubt.
I actually grew up and watched and watched the process of not only me becoming a man, but you becoming a man.
Absolutely.
And I want to give you your flowers, brother, for everything that you've done for our community, for the rap game.
Yeah, stop the violence, man. And I'm challenging every rapper in my community, you know what I'm saying, to create content that uplifts. I'm not asking everybody to be a positive K, but when I listen to your album and I hear all these cocaine stories, and I know I sold hella bricks, and you wasn't even fucking doing nothing, you niggas is lying. You niggas is fucking full of malarkey. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to be a slave to your illusion. What I'm going to do is be the rapper that calls it out. I'm not going to attack you, but I'll call it out. I'll highlight the fact of how unhealthy it is, man. Quit putting all this goddamn pork in your raps, man.
I'm going to leave it at that. Harder than 50 states, ROB.
Roll me up some pie.
Appreciate you, bro. Love always.
Peace.
We out harder than 50 states. Shout out A16 Stony Shot It. Industry Sound. Midwest Lavish.
Hey, y'all want one of these hoodies, man? Look me up on IG, 816 Rob. This motherfucker 225, and I make it, baby.
Let's hustle, baby. We out.